Let's go.
Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Pittsburgh Steelers Nation, Steel Curtain Network listeners, Fans First Sports Network listeners, thanks for joining us for another Wednesday night episode of the Pump Your Brakes podcast. I'm your boy Tate in the building with the Trip Man, Triple OG Shannon White in the building. You probably checked him out Monday on the Hangover podcast. He out here in these streets like Big-G, you know, so. And we got Mr. Lit himself. I can never keep up who Big-G is from, not even from day to day, from show to show. We just did a show. He was Mr. Algorithm, you know. Now he's lit. Get it lit, Big-G?
Yeah, I'm a man of many talents, bro. I'm a man of many talents, man. I can switch up on a dime. On a dime, baby.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so let's tap in and get into it, man. Right away, I'm gonna come to Shannon with this question, man. We kind of talked about it. If you just checked out the Smash the Gas podcast, our prelude on the Know-It-Alls channel to this Pump Your Brakes, we smashed the gas. We got to come over here and slow it down a little bit because, you know, Big-G and Curb can get pretty reckless out there. But
I'm 100 miles an hour, Tate. Let's go. Let's go. We got to get.
I think you probably a little faster, man. I think you this fast.
That looks about right. That looks about
Shannon,
right.
The Pat McAfee Show probably has started now. It's supposed to start at 8 o'clock tonight. Aaron Rodgers supposed to be a guest. A lot of speculation. He's going to announce if he's signed, if he's retiring. He's going to announce whatever he's doing. If he's going back to the cave, he's going for another walk on the beach. If he's selling his stock in the Chicago Bears, if he's going to host Jeopardy. We don't know what this guy going to do, right? But he's going to be – big facts.
Yeah.
He's going to be on with his boy, Pat McAfee, tonight. What are we thinking as Steelers fans? And Steelers have been waiting on his decision. I don't think they're that pressed by it. I think that's their best case scenario as it is right now. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're pressed about it. I think some of the stuff is Aaron Rodgers trying to fake create a market so he can get a little more money from the Steelers. But that's how I see it. But I don't know what's going to happen tonight. To you, Shannon, what do you think is going to happen tonight? Are we going to learn anything new?
Right now I'm saying no, because I thought I just read there somebody was saying that he's not going to be on the show.
What?
Has it been confirmed he's going to be on the show tonight?
Hey, I don't know. I don't keep up. I look at Pat McAfee sometimes during the day if it's just on the TV, but I don't keep up with it like that. I don't know if he's going to actually be on or not. I don't know.
Yeah, Craig just said here, that's what I heard too, that Ben and then we're talking, and Rodgers is going to be on there tonight, so I don't think we're going to learn anything today.
I don't trust him, Shannon. I don't trust him. Listen, he's trying to run it up, Shannon. Now, whether it happens tonight or not, he's trying to run it up. Tate, you're absolutely correct when you're talking about the bread. Rodgers wants more money from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe that there's already a deal that's been presented to him.
Yep.
Otherwise, why did he spend? First of all, why did Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin cancel their visit to the Michigan Pro Day? Because all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers said, "Oh, I'll be there," and then they spent 6 hours in the building with him. And then Mr. Rooney showed up as well. Yeah, they put it out there. Rodgers don't want what they done gave him, bro. So he's trying to drum it up. So if it happens or not, I don't know. But I know it's going to be some drama behind it, Tate. It's going to be some straight up soap opera. All my children, young and the restless, these are the days of our lives, jumping off with Aaron Rodgers whenever he decides to do what he's going to do, man.
He might want some Tom Brady level of control like Tom had
in Tampa.
But it ain't happening in Pittsburgh.
No, hell no, Shannon. You're right. He ain't getting none of that. Hell no, he ain't getting it. Maybe with Arthur Smith. Maybe he might because he probably don't want no. Because Rodgers, he's gonna call audible. He gonna see something, which rightfully so. He's seen it all. I'm not saying his body is still there, Shannon, but his mind is still there. His mind is there as far as understanding what's going on the field. So he might want some autonomy in that, but like you said, the rest of it, Shannon, ain't no way. Get out of here, dog. Kick rocks. You ain't getting no autonomy. There's a whole bunch of people over there in the live chat. Man, people going crazy already. The one lady said General Hospital is a soap opera. Tate, you getting a big fine.
That was that was Reginald Rivers.
Where?
But no, they said General Hospital.
Oh, yeah. Facts.
But the old Steeler backup quarterback Mark Malone is campaigning for another backup quarterback.
Facts. Mark Malone, baby. Mark Malone.
We already got Mason. Got your old spot, Mark.
Yeah, they told Mark kick rocks. Get to kicking.
The homie B Dirt, man. I got to pull up B Dirt's comment. I don't even know what it say. Read it, Big G. I just put this B Dirt.
It says, my prediction is the Steelers woke up today with quarterback issues, and they'll wake up with quarterback issues tomorrow. I don't see a 42-year-old Rodgers as the answer. He just doesn't want it like Brady did.
No. This is
He's
bad.
not.
I'm actually agreeing with Dirt.
Oh.
That never happens.
It's not always bad to agree with Dirt. Now, if you was agreeing with Pay, you might be onto something.
But I actually agree with that. Like I said, I'm still not sold on Rodgers.
Well, I
hope he's getting in shape right now to push that sled. Because Wilson wasn't ready, and look what happened.
Well, yeah, they shouldn't be dumb enough this year to have him push the sled, for one. For two, I don't think he's the answer. I think he's just the 1-year patch. That's all they want. And he's the best 1-year option as of right now at this minute. The best 1-year option right now at this very minute. That's the only reason.
At his age, and in my opinion, he ain't just a bridge; he's a rope bridge. I mean, he's just a rope and some boards, baby. It ain't too safe. I'd just rather go another direction.
I don't disagree. So what's the other direction? You just start Mason in. That's what you're doing.
I'd start Mason. I'd pick up another vet. I mean, like I said,
like who? Like Flacco?
I don't see a big difference in Flacco and Rodgers right now. I'll be honest with you.
Ooh.
What?
I tell you, I think Flacco might get through the season healthy better than Rodgers will.
Well, Rodgers got through last season. I'm not the one making excuses for Aaron Rodgers. Saying I'm spitting facts. Aaron Rodgers got through the season last year. Aaron Rodgers threw 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last year at the Jets. My last time seeing Joe Flacco really play, he was throwing the Browns out the playoffs. What was it, 2 or 3 pick sixes?
Oh, he was out there.
Game?
He got him there. That's all the Steelers fans care about. He got him there. And then we'll praise Tomlin. Praise Tomlin. We got to the playoffs again. We had a winning record again. It don't matter if you lose when you get there. I'm saying this. You got Flacco and you got Mason Rudolph. You have no drama. You bring in Rodgers, guess what you're going to have?
Big drama.
We already got drama. And he ain't even our quarterback.
Big drama and a better chance to win this year.
That's facts.
You say you want to win, but then you say you want to start Mason Rudolph. The two don't go together to me.
Can I say this? And I mean this in totality. If Mason starts quarterback, we're going to win 9 games. I'm telling you right now, that's the basement. 9 games. They're going to figure out they're going to play conservative ball control football, the way we've been playing for the last several years, and since Ben walked out the door. We're going to win 9 games, 10 games. We're going to be right there for a playoff spot. But with Rodgers, I think that we could win 11 games. Definitely. 12 we might be pushing it. And I think he has a bigger chance to play most of them. The issue for the Pittsburgh Steelers, regardless if we sign Rodgers or not, regardless if we draft a rookie quarterback or not, is going to be the improvement of the offensive line. If the offensive line improves the way we need to improve, we could go definitely from a 9-8, 10-7, even 11-16 to go up. The line has to improve. That is the big thing for us.
I agree totally. Here's a couple of observations. All I hear is Tomlin can win without a quarterback. He's proven that. All right, Rodgers has put up Hall of Fame numbers. Some statistics are crazy. How many touchdowns to interceptions and everything else. Brady can't even say that.
That's facts.
Manny can't say that.
That's facts.
He's winning the playoffs 13-3. You know, many times, number 1 seed. How many times has he been in the Super Bowl? Once. How many times has he won? Once. Why did he win? Mendenhall. Okay, let's just, I'm just telling you that Rodgers is great in the regular season, and he'll get you there, but you ain't going to win nothing. He never has with some really good Green Bay teams. He ain't going to do it in Pittsburgh.
Tate, we got a super chat from Claude.
I see. How many times has Joe Flacco been to the Super Bowl?
Once.
And he won.
And Rodgers won his one time. Who do we have more faith in? I got more faith in Rodgers. And Mark Malone said me and Big-G on some BS. You got to get that context, man. I don't even know what you're talking about. We said so much in the last 5 minutes. I don't know what part you're talking about. But I don't think I said nothing that was BS. Rodgers is better than Flacco right now. Rodgers is better than Mason right now. Rodgers is the best option right now. The only thing I would quibble about is the money. Now, would I just rather pay Mason $4 million a year, build up the team with that extra money, and not pay Rodgers? I can understand that argument. You know what I mean? From a team perspective. But then that means you're going to go out and get some more players that's going to be able to help Mason or whoever the quarterback is. You know what I mean? But I think Rodgers raises the floor and the ceiling of the offensive potential.
I don't think that Rodgers raises anything. That's my point. Rodgers puts up great statistics. He's not a winner. His record, his playoff record, his lack of titles, it all screams he's not a winner. And you're going to have to pay him so much. You just said earlier, I think he wants more money. Or he wants a 2-year deal. I think he wants things Steelers ain't willing to do. And I'm okay with the Steelers sticking to their guns with that. I'm okay with that. They don't have to have Rodgers at any cost necessary. But if they want a quarterback, I'm not saying giving it to Rodgers. I'm saying just he's the best option right now. That doesn't mean you got to pay him what he wants. But all the quarterbacks on the market right now, he's the best option. Go ahead and read Mark Malone comment, Big-G. I don't know if he's hashing out the BS right now or not.
Mark Malone, you guys are saying we're not winning but 9 games with Mason. That's BS. That's all. 9 or 10 is all we're gonna win, Mark. That we're not going to win any more than 9 or 10 games. Even if the offensive line improves that much, because there's that much of a marginal gap between Mason Rudolph and the rest of the quarterbacks in our division. We're going to play what so many Yinzers hate is the Tomlin way. Shannon, we've talked about this a million times. 18-16. Tomlin loves that. 17-14. Tomlin loves that. 2014. Tomlin loves that. We're not going to be explosive enough to absolutely beat teams by outscoring.
How's this? Mason Rudolph, career record as starter, 9-8-1. About Steelers mediocre.
Yeah.
9-8-1. That's about where we at. 9-8 with a tie somewhere. 8-8-1. That's what it would be.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers' record is 251-82 over his career.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
So
in the regular season.
Yeah,
that's facts, Shannon. That's facts, Shannon. But we're going to go 9-8, 10-7, somewhere in there with Mason Rudolph. Now, Shannon, regular season wins for Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, we can mash the gas with it. We can mess around and get 11. Listen, with the right things, hitting 12. But all this is irrelevant because we got to have improved offensive line play. Regardless of who the quarterback is, the line's got to get better. It just has to get better. The play of the line has to get better. If not, we're in a little bit of trouble, bro. We're in a little bit of trouble.
So it's 6 or 1.5 dozen of other to me. Aaron Rodgers 12-10 in the playoffs, better than the Steelers' record the last however many years. Mike Tomlin's record too right now, and Joe Flacco is 10-6, 12-10 versus 10-6. I mean, Flacco's a little better. Flacco probably had a little better defense. I mean, but okay, so still, it's not like Flacco's that guy. Mason Rudolph career playoff record 0-1.
Tate, pull up Mark Malone's last comments. The last one he just made it.
I got it.
Did anybody ever read Claude's super chat?
No.
Yeah. So Mark Malone. Yeah, first of all, Claude, here's your super chat. 5 minutes into the show, and you're schooling your co-hosts already, Shannon, and hopefully they might learn something tonight. Claude, get out of here. Go to the Matrix already, bro. Hey, man, pull up Mark Malone's thing back up, bro. Pull it back up. Mark Malone, I will bet you any corner time you want to bet that Mason Rudolph is not throwing for no 4,200 yards and 35 touchdowns. I will come on air and I will say you are the greatest Pittsburgh Steelers fan of all time. Matter of fact, Mark Malone, I'll go get a shirt that says Mark Malone is the GOAT. I will go get that and wear it on air. There's no way in hell he's throwing for no 4,200 yards and 35 touchdowns.
They're not going to give Mason Rudolph the opportunity to throw for 4,200 yards.
That's total facts.
Let alone 35 touchdowns.
That's total facts.
Another super chat from
Shannon.
Last Kings of Scotland. Go ahead, Shannon, and read that.
Oh, Shannon.
Yep. It says Shannon. It says Big Ben can't hold Rodgers' jockstrap.
Oh, Shannon. What you got to say about that, Shannon?
I'll say no comment.
I'll say something. Stop it. I'll say stop it. Big Ben is better than Aaron Rodgers. He's better than him.
I would agree, but Aaron Rodgers beat Big Ben in the Super Bowl.
He sure did.
Aaron Rodgers got 4 MVPs. Big Ben got 2 Super Bowls. Big Ben been in 3. You know what I mean? I think Ben is better overall. Big Ben got like 5 or 6 500-yard games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers' statistics are better as far as completion percentage and touchdown interception ratio. But, look at Ben's playoff record versus we just talked about. And I'm gonna look up Ben's playoff record. Big G, go ahead and talk to Shannon about whatever y'all talk about while I look this up.
Shannon, man, I got a question to ask you about old TJ Watt, bro. Right?
I knew this was coming.
Yeah, he was out there on the Instagrams today, shooting, he did one of these, Shannon. He shot the Dezeuses.
Yeah.
What's that mean to you, Shannon? Because we talked about it on Smash the Gas. What's that mean?
Hold on a second. What y'all think Big Ben career playoff record is?
He only lost about 6-7 games. He won a whole bunch.
I'm not sure, T, and like I said,
but what do you think? From perception.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna tell you what it is, but what would you think?
I'm gonna say it's about. Well, say they went to the Super Bowl 1, 2, 3 times, 6, 4. 15-7, 8.
That's not bad, but 13-10. Flacco 12-10. Rodgers 12-10. I mean, Rodgers is 12-10. Flacco's 10-6. Ben is 13-10.
Yeah, he got them chips. He got them chips and Hoy cookies.
That's what separates him. And in Ben's first Super Bowl win, in his last 2 Super Bowls, he was the guy. His first Super Bowl win, he didn't do that well. But go ahead, Shannon, back to TJ Watt and Big G's question. Y'all go ahead and hash that out. And we're gonna go to break after this.
Again, I was saying earlier, I don't think the Steelers should pay and let the ego get involved, which will happen because everybody's gonna say, "Look at what Garrett got. Look at what Parson got." Everybody's gonna say that. Crosby and TJ's better. But again, TJ's older, and in circumstances than the team and everything else. I don't think that the Steelers are going to accomplish anything trying to pay him $1 more so he can say he's the highest paid. If he wants to be in Pittsburgh, there has to be compromise on both sides. I think they accomplished that with Cam Hayward. Whether they can with TJ, I don't know. But, TJ might be sitting back and saying, hey, I might not win a championship if I stay in Pittsburgh. And regardless, I think he's had a Hall of Fame career, again, regular season. But the playoff exploits have not been there. Even when he's had, in the playoffs, he's not made an impact. And I'd love to see him do it in Pittsburgh, but he might decide he wants to do it somewhere else.
Shannon, I'm saying this, man. There's no player that's untradeable. There's no player. I don't care who they are. Not for the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. Maybe on another team, but our team, no. And I think that you could get probably max value for Watt today. I think you realistically could get a late first round, a third or a fourth, and either like a 7th or a pick next year. Not an early, not a first or second, but maybe a third or a fourth. If he wants to go, let him go. Just as long, to me, the only thing, don't trade him to AFC. Send him to Detroit. Send him to the NFC somewhere where he's got an opportunity to win a chip, and we wouldn't have to see him maybe for a year or two, depending on whether or not we made the chip.
Well, at least not say, 6 times a year. We don't want that.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, well, I don't want to see no part of TJ Watt.
Yeah,
it
would be uncomfortable for him, and it'd be uncomfortable for the Steelers.
Yeah. But to give listen, Reginald Rivers, you said another good team, Green Bay. Green Bay would give us their first, they would give us a third, and they would give us a seventh either next year or maybe a third or a fourth. Seventh this year or a third and a fourth next year for Watt today. They do it today. So grant him his wishes, man. Put him in a place where he has an opportunity to win a Super Bowl if that's really what he wants to do. And get draft capital, which is what we need to continue to build out our roster for the next 2 seasons.
Yep.
So go ahead and read Juice's comment before we go, man.
Juice, man, for the $1.99, he said, wait 2 years and draft DJ Langway. Gather picks to do it. Let me say it. I just got to say this. Take me a minute. I promise you. The deal is this. All you Yinzies out there that keep talking about future quarterbacks, we don't know. Right now today, people Arch Manning or Kay Klubnik, and I'm hearing all kind of names. We don't know, right? If you can secure a position today, you secure the position today. And then if you have an opportunity to draft because you haven't met the need moving forward, you do. DJ Langway looked really good as a freshman, but so did Lenore Sellers, right? So did Nico. People said Nico was the second coming. So we have to know we got to let the season play out. There's going to be quarterbacks available next year.
Last year, the kid from Georgia was going to be number 1 pick this year.
That's facts. And he was trash. Carson Beck. Yeah. And he was garbage.
He transferred to Miami. 1, they paid him $4 million. He wasn't going to get that if he went in the draft. 2, he going to that offense that elevated Cam Ward and got him the first pick. He going to try and remake himself. Try and get back up in one of the top round picks at quarterback. Because if he went this year, he'd be down there with our boy from Syracuse.
Kyle McCord.
He'd be down there.
Quinn Ewers too. He'd be with Quinn Ewers too. Quinn Ewers had a horrible season.
I want to ask the question when we get back from the break.
All right, let's go ahead and go to break. If you're watching on YouTube, and a lot of you are, thanks everybody for being in here. We got up to 220 viewers right now. Got eyes on this show. We appreciate it. The last show on the Nordoff's channel was great too. Really good show. People locking in with the Steelers tonight. Maybe it's the whole A-Rod, Pat McAfee energy, man, because it's drama. It's not just football, it's drama. People love movie dramas, right? I mean, so maybe that's what it's part of.
Yeah.
So, but thanks for joining us, everybody. You know how it works. About to take a quick break. You're watching on YouTube. We're not going anywhere. If you listen on audio, we have to hear a few words from our partners and advertisers, but we will be right back after this. And we're back on the Pump Your Brakes podcast on Wednesday night. I'm here with my fellas, as always, on Wednesday. Myself, Big G, obviously myself. I didn't need to say that, did I? I'm here with your fellas, Big G and the Trip OG, Shannon White in the building. We've been talking Aaron Rodgers and supposedly in the Pat McAfee Show. Sounds like, voices out there and people out there saying it's not happening tonight. So another way to get attention, leading all the way up to the day of the show. Then the checkout says down there. And he is drama. He is a diva. But at the same time, we won a couple Super Bowls with a diva because Big Ben was a diva too. Let's not forget when Big Ben crashed the motorcycle riding without a helmet. Big Ben got in some stuff down at the bar down in Georgia before he found Christ and got married and all that stuff. So we've been in drama with quarterback before that has got us to where we want to be.
He was cutting up our hometown too, Tate, but I ain't going into all of that. Mr. Benefert. Mr. Benefert. We know what she was doing, Mr. Benefert. Hey, shout out to Big Ben too, man. Because listen, Big Ben's from me and Tate Boy Fresh's hometown. We were all born in the same location, same place, all from the same hometown. Shout out to Big Ben, man. We know we got love for you, man.
I was born in Youngstown, Ohio.
Well, I was born in Lime, Ohio, and raised in Lime, Ohio. Tate Boy Fresh, you became a Lineonian, so you came to Lime and became a Lineonian.
I was 6.
Yeah, you part of the crew in the Lima land. So shout out to Ben, my hometown, born in the same place. Shout out to his uncle, good dude, man. Known him basically my whole life, man. So Big Ben Roethlisberger, you're an all-time great for the Pittsburgh Steelers and for my hometown. So I appreciate it, man.
And he went to college with my sister at the same time, Miami, Ohio. So shout out.
That is facts. That is facts.
But yeah, man. So next we were going to talk about what we kind of. Oh, go. Yeah, that's right, Shannon. Go ahead with that.
Okay, I want to ask both of you in our knowledgeable community. When we talk
except
about
Claude, you gotta get that disclaimer. Except Claude. Now go ahead.
Well, okay, Claude, you're my boy, but but no, I think that as a fan, we got to quantify. Mm-hmm. Every time I've ever mentioned, when it became apparent. Before they give what the first contract making him the highest paid defensive player, mm-hmm. I questioned it. I said, can they win? Because again, they hadn't won anything with him. Mm-hmm. I said, can they ever win a title with paying any player the highest paid at a position, outside of quarterback? Mm-hmm. It's hard to justify. Mm-hmm. You're talking about a Reggie White, a Lawrence Taylor, somebody of that nature. Mm-hmm. Well, those guys won, and they won in the postseason, which is, at one point, T.J. Watt wasn't making plays to win games late in games. And then I think there was a Sunday night game where he made a big play at the end to win it. And then after that, he just exploded, had his defensive player of the year and everything. But it still has not happened in the playoffs. Here's my question. Is it more important to the fans that T.J. Watt plays 3 more years as a Steeler, retires as a Steeler, goes into the Hall of Fame as a Steeler, and he's, remembered as one of the all-time greats, or that the Steelers win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years? Because at this point, I don't see how they're going to do both. I think if they would have utilized his value earlier, one, they wouldn't have been so overly dependent upon him that when he went out for the majority of a season, they were done. They were just not, because they're too over dependent on one player. A quarterback or a guy like Lamar or Josh Allen's one thing, cannot be a defensive edge.
Right.
And now it's at the point last year, they're like, the only way they can be successful on defense is 4-man rush, and Watt has got to get there. You've got one elite guy. You've got a good pass rusher in Highsmith, a specialist in Herbig, and then there's nobody on the defensive line. Teams that rush 4 have a great defensive line. Steelers don't, especially if they were. So which is more important? Watt retire a Steeler or the Steelers win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years?
To me, it's the second. I mean, it's more important. It's about the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's not about one player. I mean, let's just do a comparison. There was a guy named Reggie White that played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Reggie White was supposed to be an up-and-coming team that had an opportunity. They just never could put it all together. Randall Cunningham, Steph Joyner, Jerome Brown. These are the guys that he played. Chris Carter, Mike Quick. They were all on Keith Jackson. They were all on one team, right? They couldn't put it together, right? They saw that they couldn't put it together. The Philadelphia Eagles was worried about their future and what they were going to do. Yeah. So they turned around and traded Reggie White to the Green Bay Packers. Now, Green Bay ended up winning a Super Bowl with Reggie White and the Minister of Defense with that team because they said, okay, we're all in with Brett Favre. We're going to build around him. We're going to build a team. And at the same time, it helped the Philadelphia Eagles. This is how later on up the road, after they got Buddy Warren out the way, after they got some of those older players out the way, they had the draft capital to be able to build. And people remember the later version of the Eagles with the McNabb and all whatever else. Yeah. They built a squad, man. Yeah. So I'm saying we might be at that point of transition with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
4 NFC championship games. 4 NFC championship games.
Yeah, we might be at the point of transition.
And I agree with you and Shannon. I mean, it's always good to have lifelong Steelers. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, the ones that we idolize and are considerations on that Steeler Mount Rushmore. You know what I mean? But it's a different NFL now, man. It wasn't free agency back when Terry Bradshaw and Mean Joe and all them was playing. Wasn't free agent. Players didn't move like they do now, man. Now it's chess, not checkers.
And
you know what I mean?
The offensive and defensive strategies, the rules, the everything is different.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's really almost impossible to compare statistics from era to era and stuff of that nature. But when White went to Green Bay, who was the quarterback?
Brett Favre.
Yeah, I mean, how many defensive guys, they could go in and they could be that missing piece like the Steelers needed during the Killer Bees era. They needed one more defensive guy, and I think they had it with Shazier, and then he got hurt. But, you know, that killed the Steelers' last best chance to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
But right now, Watt could be that for somebody, but the Steelers don't have it, especially on offense. This offense is a complete rebuild, obviously, and you totally revamped the quarterback room how many years in a row? So
that's facts, yeah. I agree.
And I think this is the last year of that. I think over whatever they do this year, not in the draft and then next year in the draft, I think you got your two guys. You know,
Claude Bishop got a super Tate.
Go ahead, read.
He said, "Would you trade 56 for a second and a fourth?" You talking about Highsmith?
I would all day, but you're not gonna get that for Highsmith.
Yeah, I would too. But Tate, you're absolutely right. We're not going to get that for him, right? We're not. And then who do you feel with it? Because Herbig has shown he's serviceable on rotation, but when he's an every down outside linebacker, boy, he's a little bit too light the booty. He's a little bit too light. He can't handle all of that, bro. Not play after play after play after play, man. So yeah, I would, but you better have a plan to get a guy to fill in for him, bro. You better have that plan.
Yeah, but a second and fourth would be nice right now, and I would do that for Highsmith right now. But you're not going to get that though.
I agree with Tate that I don't think anybody's going to give up that much for him. Maybe a third. I like Highsmith. Yeah, I like Highsmith a lot. Everybody knows that. But I think what you see now is what you're going to get. And for him to take it to the next level, they need to strengthen that defensive line. Because his best year was when Hayward was creating havoc and he was rushing off his shoulder. Yeah. And I just think that he needs that, and I don't think Hayward's got that anymore.
Chad Brown gave $1.99 super chat, Tate.
That's Corey Brown. Stop thinking about old Steelers, man.
I sure am. Steelers on my mind, man. It's all the time. Steelers is on my mind, baby. They on my mind. Corey Brown, man. We thank you for the $9.99. He said, $9.99. Yeah, that's $10, man. He said, I want to apologize to Shannon. I went at him hard in the chat. I just would have hate to see another otherwise Rod Woodson situation. I understand. I get it, because Woodson left and he had a great career as a Raider. Heck, he redefined himself. He went from a corner to a safety and made all pros and Pro Bowls and all whatever else you want to. So I get it. But the capital we could get for Watt to me is different than Woodson, y'all. To me.
But Woodson left as a free agent. Went to the 49ers because he did not want to move to safety. The Steelers are like, we want you to play safety. He's like, no, I'm still a cornerback. He goes and he gets torched in San Francisco.
Beat up.
And so then the Ravens get him. And he becomes, an all-pro safety like the Steelers wanted to do. So that is the decision between the team and the player. You can't fault either. Because the Steelers were right. Because they just didn't want to pay Woodson cornerback money. Because back then, corners got a lot more money, right?
Yeah, facts.
And Woodson, he thought he could still do it. And when he figured out he couldn't, he became an all-pro in another position because that's how great he was. But I don't have hard feelings. I just got bad memories of that.
And the issue is this, too, and it's just the reality of it. They were asking T.J. Watt to do more. to be different. They don't want him with his hand on the ground 24/7, and all you're doing is rushing the quarterback. They want him to stand up, be an outside linebacker, move around, be a chess piece. The reason why he hasn't, the reason why he hasn't done it is because they've let him get away with murder. So the deal is moving forward that they're going to have to make a decision with Watt.
I don't know if you can say he got away with murder because he played really well where he played for a long time. Last year wasn't the year that it should have been. So now maybe schematically you need to do something different with him, and TJ need to be willing to do and try that. But I'm not going to say he just had his way, do whatever he wanted to do. He was producing at that. He was always in the top 3 or 4 in DPOY. So he was doing good where he was at. Last year, not so much. Now we might need to have you come off this side, have you come off that side, put you in the middle, let you run a stunt blitz from the middle, all kind of different stuff. You got to do stuff different now, TJ, and he needs to come to terms with that.
Don't be so dependent on him and his greatness. Because as you get older, he can still do it in spurts, in flashes. But he cannot constantly defeat double teams and get chipped every play, and he's going to wear down. And we've seen that last year. He
can be on the field and be impact. He don't got to be coming off that edge every time, the same edge every time. You moving, teams got to account for him whether he do anything or not. They worried about what he might do.
Exactly.
Which impacts the defense.
Remember the game that Cleveland Garrett had against us?
He did the crossover.
He had the 3 sacks in the first half. One standard, one he swung inside, and then one he just got it. I think if I remember right, he split a double team with the tight end. These are the kind of things that Watt doesn't seem willing to do right now.
Right, and maybe in a team like Detroit, he can still continue to do what he's always done.
But he would have
Aiden Hutchinson
on the other side, exactly.
Yeah, and so he can do what he's always done. And maybe that's the deal. Maybe, like we're saying, Watt doesn't want to do what Pittsburgh's asking. So, listen, I'm not mad if he's traded, fellas. I'm just not. I'm not mad at all if he's traded.
But he needs help if he's going to be here.
Yes,
and I don't think they should try to pay him $1 more than Garrett. And I think it's crazy.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so tired of the next person up get the biggest contract. Next person up might not be better than that guy. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I think in this case, TJ is better than Garrett, but because the Browns were stupid, don't mean the Steelers got to be stupid.
Yeah, the Browns is beyond stupid. The Browns is retarded. They retarded. I know that's an incorrect term, but they retarded, bro. They do dumb stuff.
I got into it. That you'll ever need is called Deshaun Watson.
Yep,
fully guaranteed contract. I'll never understand that one.
They the ones that started the mess up of the quarterback market. For real, started with them. But Big G, I got into it, and I don't usually get into that stuff. But on Facebook, Cleveland Brown fan, your boy, you can go back and look at it. Like your boy Mike West said, was there some NFL rule change where now they can count the NFL championships as like Super Bowls or something? That's what he was saying.
It is. It did happen.
So now he's saying we got the same amount of championship as the Super Bowls as the Steelers.
Not Super Bowls. Not Super Bowls.
But what I said is, well, that's kind of because he had the Browns field with a whole bunch with 6 Super Bowl trophies on it. I said that's kind of misleading because the championship trophy didn't look like that. And I posted the picture of the championship trophy in his comment. Like, this is the trophies you have. Let's not mislead people with Super Bowl trophies. Matter of fact, we're going on 60 and you've never been in one. I said, he said,
I thought the Browns had more than 6 championships.
Well, I believe it's 6. I believe the only person that got more is Brady.
I thought that, but you're talking about the old championship before the NFL.
Yeah.
I thought they had more than 6. I could be wrong.
I believe it's 6. I don't know for sure, but everything that I heard since that moment, it sounds like it's 6. But I said
the best before the NFL.
Yeah, they were. I said, Big G. He said we gonna win the Super Bowl before y'all.
Stop that.
And I said, wait, man. I said, and I was being funny. I said you might if we had as many top 5 picks as y'all. So I researched it. The Cleveland Browns have had 11 top 5 picks, 7 times 1 or 2. The Steelers' last top 5 pick was Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw.
And ain't sniffed a Super Bowl since Bernie Kosar and Ernest Biner messed it up for him. And that's in the late 80s. Get them out of here.
Let's just not confuse the listeners, Big G. Let's be accurate. They never sniffed the Super Bowl, never been. Now, it was national championship game. I believe there was the only 2 times ever.
Yeah, against the Broncos. They messed it up twice. The fumble in the drive, blew it. Garbage. Yeah, and that's like 87, 88, 89, somewhere a long time ago, Tate, when me and you were still in high school.
Yeah, I think it was 87, 88.
Garbage. Get them out.
Yeah.
Stop. They suck.
And in 87, 88, I wasn't in high school. I was in junior high school. You might have been in high school one of those years. I wasn't. I didn't come to high school until 88.
Yeah, so it's been a long time, bro. They trash. They've been trash forever. They dumpster juice. It don't even matter. I can't believe we're actually talking about the L's on the Browns show. They garbage. Get them out of here, man.
B Dirt says, preach, Tate. Next contract should be based on that player's ability and projected impact. No, I agree. I mean, because even with the quarterbacks, I mean, Dak Prescott don't deserve no $60 million. What does Trevor Lawrence do to get $55 million? Like, just because you next, man, teams got to get smarter. And if you don't pay a guy, then let other teams, mess up their money. You got more money to get other great players, and then you find your quarterback and you pay him on a rookie deal. But to go out there and pay because you think you got a guy, but he ain't done nothing, he ain't won, he ain't been no force multiplier, Big G.
The Eagles have found the sweet spot. They found where the Steelers were with Ben. Because Jalen Hurts is never considered top 5 quarterback.
Yep.
But they got such a great roster, and they've spread the money out on all the guys on the roster, and they draft great. They have depth. And then you got a smart game manager in Hurts who's a winner and makes plays in winning time, and now they're Super Bowl champion. They found the sweet spot that I think the Steelers need to look for.
Agreed, Shannon. We're going to take one more break and come back and talk about the draft is what?
2
weeks away from tomorrow. 2 weeks away from tomorrow.
Yep, 14, yep.
So we're going to come back and talk about that just to finish up, give our thoughts on potential Steelers draft picks and moves. If you're watching on YouTube, we're not going anywhere. If you listen on audio platform, we have to hear a few words from our partners and advertisers, but we'll be right back after this. And we're back on the Pump Your Brakes podcast for our last block, the C block. And we're going to talk about the NFL draft. Big G, before we get started that real quick, man, I wanted to ask a question. Let's just get to the draft. So one of you guys started, I'm not going to call on nobody. I'm going to let Big G just pass to Shannon like he always do. Shannon, you go first. You got it. That's what he going to do, Shannon.
Facts.
He ain't scared. He can do it first.
Go ahead, Big G.
So what's the question?
I got to listen to the trick. Just your thoughts on the draft. Right now, the question is, what would you like to see them do right now today on the 2-week eve of the draft?
Trade backwards. I want the Pittsburgh Steelers to trade back to anywhere between 26 and 28 or 29. Pick up extra capital, what we need to continue to build out the 53-man roster. Unless the player, there's actually 3 guys that if they're there at 21, you can't do it. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan University. Omarion Hampton, running back, North Carolina University. And if some way Shedeur Sanders falls to 21, you got to sit right there and draft that guy. But outside of those 3 guys, get backwards, Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what they got to do, Tate. They have to do it.
I like that. I like that, Big G. Shannon gave you a couple thumbs up on 2 out of 3 for sure. Maybe he was kind of wavering on one of them. I don't know. Shannon, go ahead. You let us know what you thought and what you think.
Well, a running back in the first, I like Hampton. I'd rather him in the second. Grant definitely. I don't know if y'all seen The Hangover, but he was our first pick in the first round.
Oh wow!
We didn't try to do any trades or anything to get back in the second. So we got Grant in the first round, Besh in the third round, and DJ Giddens in the fourth round.
Ooh.
And I was very happy with that. If the Steelers could pull something like that, that would be great. My question on there was if you could somehow trade back, because me and Big G's, we've talked about this many times, and get up into that second again. Take your first round. Say you trade with the Bills at 30, and you get Grant there.
Okay.
Then would you consider taking Dart with that second pick in the second round?
No.
And then still look at you for your wide receiver and running back in the third and the fourth.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. To me, the draft falls off this year after the fourth round. Now, there's a lot of defensive tackles. There's not just Grant. I mean, Grant's the difference maker, I believe. But you got Nolan, you got Alexander, there's just so many really good defensive linemen and running backs that will fit the Steelers. Wide receivers, not so much. So Ibuke even in the first, if they stay at 21, if depending on who the quarterback's going to be, look at that receiver core. Goodness gracious. If you have Metcalf, Pickens, and Ibuke, I mean, that's incredible. But I would still like them to get back in that second round because, like I said, after the fourth, it's going to fall off this year.
I feel it. I feel it, Shannon. But to me, it's as long as you handle your business, I think you can get serviceable players. That draft you did with no trades is beautiful. I would take that draft all day and night to fill 3 needs for the Pittsburgh Steelers at position. But I think that there's more value by being able to trade backwards and less like those players that we said, like Shador and like Grant. If they're there, man. I mean, if they're not there, you trade backwards, bro.
Now, a lot of people was against Sanders, the Steelers taking him. I'm not. I know that Coach did a article and a film study this week on his lack of arm strength.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a Drew Brees arm strength, or so he's not Chad Pennington. It's not that weak, and it's stronger than Kenny Pickett. And I think he's very accurate. He's tough. He stands in the pocket. He can make progressions and reads, and he's got that confidence. You call it cocky, whatever you want. I think he can develop into a really good starting quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he can too.
Like Hurts, but I do think that he would definitely, be worth taking a shot at.
Yeah, I mean, and the value is there. The potential number 2. We were talking about him doing 2 or 3 just about a month ago. So the value getting him at 21. Kenny Pickett's draft. This is not a good quarterback draft either, but Kenny Pickett's draft. Kenny Pickett was probably the best quarterback. Well, Shador Sanders is I think a substantially amount better than Kenny Pickett.
I think so.
And he had good arm strength at his pro day. Now I will say he passed 70-some% in college, but a lot of his throws was dump offs. I think that's because he didn't have no true O-line, so we had to get rid of the ball quick. We saw our quarterbacks do that over the past five years, starting with Big Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, he throws a decent deep ball, like kind of not like Russ's moon ball, but he can get it out there for receivers, and with potentially DK Metcalf and George Pickens. I would be okay if they drafted Shador Sanders at 21, then started Mason Rudolph, because Mason's just steering the ship. He's not expected at some point. If you start Mason Rudolph, at some point, no matter what's going on this season, you're going to put Shador Sanders in there to getting some some clock. So for the next year, he's ready to go. And then don't worry about Aaron Rodgers. But it all is contingent upon what happened from what the question was to start the show that we don't have an answer to right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I like Shannon's draft. Let me comment on that. I like Shannon's first draft, like you said, Big G. I take that one all day.
Mm-hmm.
He said Grant Beck from TCU, right?
Yeah.
And Giddens, Kansas State.
Yeah.
I like all those player fields, 3 needs. Then his next draft, potentially trading back. Now, if you went at 21 in your draft, does Kenneth Grant fall back to 30? Do you get him there?
I think you can get him at 27.
I've seen my draft where he's going like late 20s, into the first round.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think you get him at 27. You could.
But see, now I think that gives you leeway. Then he asked about Jackson Dart. I don't go Jackson Dart. That's when I go Jalen Milroe.
Not in a second.
Quarterback.
See, that's what I feel you, Tate, but not in a second. Yeah, not in a second. I can't do it.
Yeah, and I'm not a Jackson Dart fan. That's more Kenny Pickett action. I'm going. Y'all know me. I like playmakers in my room. I'm going with the ceiling, the upside, not the floor. Period. You get another floor guy with Jackson Dart. To me.
Well, right, I don't know what y'all thought of Bo Nix last year. I was not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And we see what Bo Nix could do with a confident offensive coordinator and head coach. I believe, now I'm not saying the Steelers have that offensive coordinator like Nix had last year, but that's who Dart reminds me of, is Bo Nix. And his ability to make off-platform plays and throws that he has the arm strength. It's just going to take a little bit of time. But I do. I like him. Outside of Sanders, he's the one I like next.
I like Sanders best, and I go Milroe then Dart. Yeah. I mean, I see a big long and Chris Sims said the same thing in his tape evaluation. A big long wind up with Dart when he got to throw the deep ball. He throws the intermediate routes good, but he got to really, really draw back to throw that deep ball, and that could be the difference in a strip sack and a turnover, or who knows. So I mean, I think just the escapability of Milroe, and it's a gamble. I'm not saying that he's the greatest quarterback, but the upside is much higher. I mean, not y'all specifically, a lot of people want to turn Lamar Jackson into a running back when he was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We've been there. So I take a gamble. With a second-round pick, I take a gamble. Because Jalen Milroe is not going to go past pick 45. Trust me.
But Tate and Shannon, both of you guys, if you're going to trade backwards and you're still going to – and we missed the super chat by Claude too, by the way. But if we're gonna,
you got to let me know, Big G.
I can't get to it. My thing won't let me click it. Shannon, you got to.
If you see it, I'm on another screen.
Yeah.
But
so if you're going to trade backwards, and you're still able to get the defensive tackle in the first round, which would still be the target, right? You get a DT in the first round. Mm-hmm. If you trade to get the second round pick, that's where the value for the running back is at. So in the second round, if 4 running backs don't go off in the first round, you could be looking at Travion Henderson or Quinshon Judkins. Now, you give me Kenneth Grant and Quinshon Judkins, my first 2 picks in this draft, I mean, it's important what we do the rest of the way. But if I get Kenneth Grant and Quinshon Judkins with a first and a second round pick, I win. Man. So
you got 2 starters.
Right. So that's why I said I wouldn't swing for the quarterback that early, because we could get value like a Kenneth Grant, or some folks like Harmon. They like Derek Harmon out of Oregon, or Derek Harmon. Some folks like Walter Nolan. So one of those 3 defensive tackles in that first, trading back into the second and getting the value at running back.
That's what I did with Shannon's trade back draft. I'm just taking Milroe over Dart. He got Kenneth Grant. I'm taking Kenneth Grant like he did. But with the trade back, I'm not taking Dart my next pick. I'm taking Milroe my next pick. That was only different. That's all I'm saying.
Over a running back, you would take Milroe?
Probably, because I still got a third. He took Gibbs. He was happy with it then.
Yeah, but bro, you can't beat the value of Quinshon Judkins in the second round. You can't beat that.
I like Junkins a lot. That's some of your Ohio State bias. Before we get to Claw Super Chat, Ted Jones said Milroe is nothing more than an RB. I heard that before about other quarterbacks, Ted. I mean, we just talked about Lamar Jackson. He's should have been 3-time MVP already. Hasn't won the Super Bowl. He went to an NFC Championship game year before last. I mean, he's still up and coming. That upside, they gamble. Baltimore had the foresight to gamble on the upside. They got rid of Flacco, Super Bowl winning quarterback at the time, benched him, and Lamar Jackson has taken off since then. Best win-loss record in the league. Hasn't won that thing yet, but hey, sometimes you gotta take your shot. Go ahead and read Claude Super Chat, Big G.
Claude Bishop for the $2, man. He said, run stoppers, gentlemen, run stoppers. Claude, we don't disagree. But, Claude, the way you talk, you wanted to pick a defensive tackle at the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Hell, you want him to still go free agency to get a defensive tackle. I understand that 299 yards with the Baltimore Ravens leaves a nasty taste in everybody's mouth. But, bro, that's not going to happen all the time, Claude. Stop that.
Another thing, and I agree with Claude, I know we all do, not all these defensive tackles, even though it's a deep class, are made the same.
Facts.
They're not all great fits with the Steelers.
Yeah.
Grant is. Grant, you can put him at nose, even if the Steelers would go to a 4-3 eventually. You know, he's an inside defensive tackle with the girth and the length, and he's a run stuffer who can collapse the pocket. George Davis-like, or, you know, there's not a Jalen Carter in this draft. But there's some really good players. But Alexander's a kid that he's got that girth and that power that he can hold up at nose. So even if you don't get Grant in the first, there is a couple options in the third.
Yeah. TJ Sanders, Tyreek Williams. Come on, bro.
Tyreek Williams will go more second. I mean, but if they trade back and they want to get a playmaker, you know, say Hampton is there and you trade back to 28, you could go Hampton. Then with your next pick that you just acquired, go Tyreek Williams, and I'll be fine with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love TJ Sanders. Yeah, Juice Bellamy, $99. He said, Milroe hate got to stop. Media always does this. They always do. I mean, they've traditionally slaughtered mobile quarterbacks that come out of the collegiate rank that is not a stand-in-the-pocket quarterback that just throws the ball all over the yard. And we've seen more of those guys transition to the NFL with this addition of the 11-on-11 football and RPO being added in. There's more successful RPO quarterbacks in NFL now than ever before. So can an RPO quarterback work in the NFL? Yeah, they can work.
Well, in the past, a lot of the really mobile quarterbacks outside of your Fran Target and Steve Young, you know, I mean, I never heard nobody say that Randall Cunningham should be a running back. Cunningham was a really good quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
But they tried to make Warren Moon a running back, and he had to go to Canada and then come in. But to me, if you watch Milroe, he'll make a spectacular play, but it's almost always at a play that he's making a long run or he's scrambling to keeping the play alive and then making a big throw. But he also makes a boneheaded, you know, just like deer in the headlights play where he has no idea what he's looking at. And KT Smith, you know, coach, he wrote about this as well. Milroe's feast or famine. Now, you're either betting on the feast, which it sounds like Tate's willing to do, or you're concerned about the famine, which I am.
Right.
Now, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's fair. That is fair. Because I'm taking shots. I'm not saying take him at 21. I'm saying you trade back, you get your guy, then you take him the next pick. That's what I'm saying.
And I also had one guy that when Big G earlier said, if he's there at 21, you got to take him. I can't say his name. What's the safety out of South Carolina?
Nicky Umanura.
I'm telling you, man, I love that kid.
Shannon,
if he goes to Baltimore, I'm going to be so pissed.
Listen, I was on Nick Umanura before anybody I know out there in them Steelers streets. Shannon, I was telling you about that dude 2 or 3 months ago.
Yep.
I was like, bro, this dude is unbelievable.
I don't know if it was 2 or 3 months ago. I know it was right after his combine workout.
No. Shannon, I was talking to Shannon about it before. Yeah, I was like, Shannon, I'm telling you, dog, I don't watch film on this dude, bro. I'm like, and I said, if his measurables are what I think it is, because I was hearing rumblings that he was taller than 6'3". I was hearing rumblings that he was bigger than 210 pounds. That boy came in at 6'4", 220 and ran a 4.3. I was like, oh my.
He's a bigger Ryan Shazier.
I like him a lot. And you know what that would be? That would be a ceiling pick, and I would be okay with that. You don't take a player just because it's a player in need and he's solid.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
No, he's an All-American, first team All-American. It ain't like he come out of nowhere.
That boy different.
First team All-American.
That boy different, bro. That boy, and I'm gonna tell y'all, if we did draft him in the first round, you talking about taking pressure off of Minka and TJ, because that's a Ryan Shazier type dude.
That's what
6'3",
6'3",
yeah, 6'3", 6'4", 220, 4'3", and you put the tape on, he's downhill in a minute. So you know,
ball,
man,
safety, play him in the slot. You move him around. He is Troy Polamalu, and Ryan Shazier had a baby.
Dang. Wow, Shannon. Wow. But that's right, though. That's right. That's facts.
No Diddy.
You got to chill.
But no, I get where he's going. The fact that he said it, you got to chill, Shannon. But no, I agree. So any guy, if Shador dropped, if Ashton Genty dropped, if Emmett Ure is there, all those guys are high ceiling guys. That's all I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Grant got the potential to be an excellent guy because he's fast. He can get upfield and crush the pocket and rush from the middle. And he's a traditional nose tackle that can play 3 downs. Wouldn't be mad at that at all.
Baby fat.
Huh?
Say it again.
He run down that Ohio State running back in that game.
No, Penn State. No. Penn State. Yeah.
He run down, which was unbelievable. And then you see him working out next to Graham at their pro day, and he's still got baby fat. He is not yet. He ain't even close to what he's going to be when he hits his prime. You watch.
I heard he's 336 pounds. I heard he's 336.
Okay.
I hear that. Go ahead.
Now I'm going to ask you because last question.
He's like 336, and I'm still hearing he runs a sub-5. I'm hearing he's like he run a 4.89, 4.88. At 336 pounds, dog, that's a problem.
So right now, G and Shannon, both of you, is Grant there at 21?
Yes.
21? I think so,
yes. Yeah, I think he's there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, then I would be mad if they pick him because I think the upside is there. You know what I mean? So we're going to get out of here, fellas. I think it was a great show. We got to like 275 people at one time, I believe, with eyes on the show. We appreciate everybody that rock with us. Make sure I didn't miss no super chats in the building. Mark Malone talk about Shannon got the Diddy. that don't usually happen, Mark, not the Shannon.
Yeah.
That's much more a big G-ish thing.
No, G-ish? You need to stop that. You're the Diddy King. Stop that.
Come on, man.
Come on, bro.
That's somewhere between you and
actually, no, it's Pays by far. Pays numero uno. He's numero uno. It's not even close. Pays number uno. No.
But hey, we're about to get out of here. But Big G, go ahead and tell them about Sunday.
Absolutely, you guys. Listen, for all of you guys that rock with us on the Steel Curtain Network and all the other networks that me, Tate Boy Fresh, Shannon, all the Know-It-Alls crew is a part of, we are having our 200th show live on the Know-It-Alls channel at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been blessed and fortunate to have 200 consecutive shows in a row, so we're going to celebrate a little bit. We're going to have 4 $25 giveaways based off of random questions that the Know-It-Alls are going to ask during the podcast. If you subscribe to the channel and you're already a subscriber, you chime in and you give the answer that we're looking for. We're just going to Venmo you, PayPal, whatever kind of way we need to get that money to you. We're going to get you $25, and we're going to do it 4 times during the show. So we're looking forward for all the people that rock with us on these networks to come over to our channel, subscribe to the channel, be part of our celebration 200 show that we've been able to do on the Know-It-Alls. It's live at 6 p.m. exclusively on YouTube. And Tate, we got 2 super chats, bro. Don't get it, Tate. Don't get the big fine. He got the double fine because he's still running it.
All I was saying was Rube is in the building. I had to find the chat, man. I got to do a little bit of everything on the show, man.
Facts.
You need to get in your bag where you can pull it up, Paul.
That is facts. Yeah. See there you go. No Diddy. Anyway, Ruben Stone for the $9.99. I know Rodgers better off than Mason, but I bet the offense won't be as far off as wins as these weapons we have. The O-line is the key, and here we go. He's absolutely correct. Ruben, I agree with that. Yeah. And we got another one for the 5.
Wait. Big Rube deserves something.
That's the fact, Jack. That's the fact, Jack.
Yeah, that's facts.
Thanks, Rube. That is definitely facts.
That's facts. That's facts.
Okay. The next super chat is where my super chats go?
I don't right there. Oh,
Shannon pulled it up. Thanks, Shannon. Go ahead. From the king of the Matrix, the homie, the friend of the show, every show. Claw's always somewhere in the troll world too. You know, might have come with a troll world inside of the Matrix, Big G.
I've been told you. Yeah, we got to have different lands. It's like the land of Oz. The Matrix, like there's all kind of little different things. You know, they got the Munchkin land. We need troll land. We need all those things, bro. Shannon, what you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say every time I see Claude, I think if he would be a great UFC guy.
Yeah,
you know, his ring name would be Claude Hopper Bishop.
Claude Hopper Bishop. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, said Claude for the 5, man. We appreciate it. He said too many holes, especially on the D line, to draft a running back in the first. G's insane. No, I'm not, Claude. No, I'm not. I'm not.
It's not insane because if you look at it, Steelers do need a do line. They need a running back too. The offense wants to lean on the running game. They need a number 1 guy, a guy that can do it all. He's 4.44 fast. He has good contact balance. He's a great in the pass game, and he can pass block. So I'd say Hampton, if that's what you're looking at, because Genty probably goes top 6 or 7. If you're looking at Hampton, he's better to the running backs than Kenneth Grant is to the defensive tackles.
That's facts.
You know, and Grant is great, but for his position, Hampton's just a little greater. So I wouldn't be mad because the upside is there. You know what I mean?
You said he
so that
4.44.
4.44. Grant, I mean Hampton.
You're quoting some Moses Malone there.
Got to be an OG to know that, Shannon.
That's right.
4.44 at 224. 4.44 at 224.
Yep.
That's that boy moving.
Yep.
That boy moving.
Yeah. So all right, fellas. Well, I think it was a great show. We're not gonna go too much over our regular allotted time. So we're about to get out of here in a good amount of time. Claude say, G, put yourself in the Matrix.
No, it ain't happening, Claude. Claude's just biased.
And Ted Jones is right. You can get a running back in the 2nd or 3rd. We don't have a 2nd round pick, but you won't get the 2nd best running back in the 2nd or 3rd. That's what we're talking about. You can get a really good defensive tackle in the 2nd or 3rd too. Might not be Grant, but it'd be one of them guys like TJ Sanders, Tyleek Williams. You can get a guy still there too. So I can go either way. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying I understand if it was Hampton in the 1st round.
Claude just don't want to pay that $25 to the super chat and tell me I'm right after 10 running backs go by 67. But get ready, Claude. Just get ready, bro. I needs my bread. I need my $25 in the super chat, dog. Go on, give me my money. I'm trying to tell you, bro. 4 running backs is going in the 1st round. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen.
Uh-oh.
He got fined again. What the?
Okay, fellas. With that being said, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
We're about to go ahead and get out of here, man. Thanks everybody for rocking with us. Catch Shannon again on Monday on the Hangover. Him and Daniel J in the building. What today is Wednesday? Friday. Me and Big G on the Homies podcast with Pay and B Dirt and the Homies Overtime. I don't know who hosting Overtime this week, but y'all need to get it together. And,
not the kid. I'm free.
You free? So it's between Pay and B Dirt.
Yep.
B Dirt, you was out there in the live chat. So if it's you, handle your business. You're gonna be getting married in 2 weeks. It won't be you in another. Yeah, you got to trade up somewhere to B Dirt because you can't be doing it on your wedding weekend, man. And if it's Pay, let your boy know. So But with that being said, man, and then don't forget, like Big G just told you, Sunday in the Know-It-Alls. Tap in, check in. You got to be in the building to get the bread. So check us out. Check us out, all of us out on all the Steel Curtain Network shows on YouTube and the audio platforms. And check out the Steel Curtain Network website. Get a lot of updated articles and info from there. So just rock with us in the Steeler sphere, Steel Curtain Network, Fans First Sports Network, the Know-It-Alls channel, and everywhere you can get any of us. With that being said, fellas, peace.